And Representative Adam Kinzinger is a former Air Force pilot, and he is just back from the Syria-Turkey border and in Iraq. He joins us. Nice to see you, sir.
Nice to see you. Thanks for having me.
What do you see at the border?
Well, it was intense. There's concern. I met with leadership of Free Syrian Army battalions. They have a lot of concern. They've been at this for 3.5 years against Assad. They see Assad as the creator of ISIS, creating, in essence, this vacuum of leadership where ISIS has come in behind the Free Syrian Army, and they're very worried.
All right. It's sort of curious that you say you met with the leadership of Free Syrian Army. Last week, Secretary of Defense Hago didn't know who they were.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting. So you have many different battalions, and there are I'd say about 18 we met with, of which they are U.S.-supported battalions. What that means exactly, we don't know. But there is a Free Syrian Army Leadership Council. They haven't been empowered enough, and that's where the empowerment needs to go. The administration has got to begin to think outside or inside the box on this and do what they need to do. The problem is, if the FSA disappears, if they're defeated, which they're on the ropes right now, you're only going to have two options: brutal Assad, who created the problem in Syria, or ISIS, who obviously we know how bad they are. And that's going to spread. It has to spread into Iraq, could threaten Jordan, Saudi Arabia, and the whole ball of wax.
What's Free Syrian Army saying about the Obama administration?
I think they're very disappointed. I mean, they look at it as, hey, you were willing to go into Iraq to bring freedom to people. We're giving you freedom on a platter, and you've turned your back on us. They're angry. They support the ISIS strikes, but to them, still the bigger enemy is Assad. They're worried about us not attacking Assad. They think, even a no-fly zone would be beneficial. There's a real humanitarian crisis. There's no really good options in Syria because we waited too long. The president evidently didn't see this coming, even though many of us did.
Well, there's also Khorasan, the al-Qaeda group there as well.
That's right, yeah, and that's a big issue too. And the problem is this is spread into Iraq, and today when you look at Iraq, I have a hard time seeing how the Kurds, as tough as they are at fighting, are going to be able to liberate large swaths of Iraqi territory. They already have a 1,000-mile border with ISIS that they have to defend.
How effective have our airstrikes been in Syria?
In Syria, I think they've disturbed ISIS a little bit. They definitely have not halted the advance of ISIS as they're moving into border towns with which brings a question about what Turkey needs to do. In Iraq, they did stop the momentum, the forward movement. Erbil was very much threatened. It was ready to fall within 24 hours. It stopped the movement of ISIS there, but it is not dislodging them. And in order to bring the Iraqi military and the Kurdish forces to liberate that, it's going to take a lot more work.
Khorasan has asked for lone wolves to attack the United States. How much have we been able to degrade or even destroy Khorasan in Syria?
Well, it's hard to tell. We don't have good information at this point. We've killed some leadership.
Do we have no information almost?
Well, they may, but they're not releasing it. We've killed some of the leadership, but I heard somebody the other day say, we don't believe that those strikes actually stopped any kind of an attack on the homeland. But ISIS has made it clear in social media and otherwise that they want to attack the homeland of the United States, too. They're just, instead of being the Khorasan group, which takes advantage of a bad situation to plan attacks on the United States, they're focused on establishing their state first and then exporting that terror here. It'll be much tougher to defeat if they have a state with funding.
And, of course, we have the problem with Turkey with all those refugees from Syria flowing into Turkey.
And Iraq is even just, I went through a refugee camp in Iraq, and the humanity. I mean,
I saw it in December, and it was terrible.
It's terrible. A 13-year-old girl with her brother that's 5 years old with cerebral palsy with no medical attention, and she's taking care of him because their parents were killed by ISIS.
There was no heat there, and it was freezing cold. 90-some-year-old people, they couldn't even leave their homes with any identification to identify. They just left with the clothes on their back.
And I want to say this to folks too: people that say that's over there, it doesn't matter, or just let everybody kill each other. It's a real human tragedy, and the innocents are the ones that get killed.
If you see it, you never forget it.
That's absolutely right.
Anyway, Congressman, thank you, sir.
Thank you.